Okay, we're going to start making pieces for our project. We're going to make a circle. In that circle, you're going to come up here, and in millimeters, you're going to type in 128. That gives you a circle that's 128 around. Okay, move it over, set it aside for just a second. Make another circle, and you're going to make that one 19. Now this particular one, if you want to change that to different size after experimentation, you can. 19 is just what I used. Then another circle. You're going to make that one 5. Again, this one can be changed. This is the hole that holds the ornament up. Okay. So you have these 3 pieces. We're going to create the back piece with it. So what we're going to do is with the big one sitting there, you're going to grab the next size one. You're going to bring it over and pay attention to the lines that show up and disappear as you move it around. Those will come in handy and save you a bunch of keystrokes if you know how to read them. The more you use them, you do it. But I'm going to bring it over towards the center, and you'll watch when the left side of my circle gets to the center, that line shows up, shows me it's there. If I keep continuing moving it, it disappears, but when the center gets there, it shows you that the centers are lined up. If I move upwards, when the centers of that circle meets the top of that one, the line shows up. Then I can let go. And that's exactly where we want that. Think of the hoop on top of a Christmas ornament. That's what's going to stick up, and then the circle is going to go in. Once you have those lined up like that, you highlight them both, hit merge graphic shapes, and you'll notice this bottom part here will disappear and make merge graphic shapes. Now you've got one piece. You click on this little circle, you're going to bring it over, and you'll notice with it right there, when you start moving it with the mouse, it's kind of hard to get to the center. You can get it. When you get it, then you want to move it to where it's halfway between the top of that and where the top of this one would be. So kind of like, it's hard to do. So once it's highlighted, this is the trick, once it's highlighted like that, you can use your arrow keys and make minute changes. And as long as I keep hitting that arrow, down arrow, that's going to move down until I get it to where I want. And just think again, Christmas ornament, that's the button or the hole where the attachment is going to go through to hold this in place. Okay, once it's in there, highlight it, merge, and subtract overlying shapes. Okay, now that's one piece. Okay, that is your back piece. Now we're going to need, over the course of this, we're going to need 3 of those. So you can cut, paste, make 3 of them. You can do the whole process, make 3 more. The easiest way to do it though is highlight the image, array creation, 3 columns, 1 row, confirm. And what that's done is it's made you 3 of them identical to each other. Okay, you can set 2 of them off to the side for now. And we'll move off to making the center section. Okay, to make the center section, this is the section that's going to be kind of basically a frame for your CD. We've got the outside of the frame. We need to make the inside of the frame. So you can click circle, bring it over, start to make a circle. The diameter of a CD-ROM is 120 millimeters. So you put 120 by 120. And then you bring the circles over. You bring them over to where it's centered. And then you're going to have to visually drop it in, because when we added this piece on top, if you do center to center, that's going to throw off where your gauge's center is. But you can eyeball it to tell where it's at, and there you have it. Now the next thing you want to do, you're going to highlight both of them. Then you're going to hit merge, subtract overlying shapes. Okay. So now basically you've got a frame, no center, and that is your centerpiece. Okay. You can drag that off to the side. Bring back one of your centers or your backs. So there's your back, There's your center. Now we're going to work on the front. Okay, we're going to create another ring. Hit circle, bring it over. And what this is going to hide the outer edge of the CD on the front. So your CD was 120, so this has to be smaller in order to cover that edge. A lot of CDs also don't have that rainbow effect on the edge, so you want to hide it. So we're going to make it at 110 millimeters. Oops. Okay, and we're going to put up here at the top for just a second. Now we're going to come down and we're going to make a rectangle. Click on it. And you're going to bring it out to here, and you're going to make that the width of your circle here, which was 110. So the width, you're going to make 110. And the height is whatever you want. This is going to be the cross pieces that hold that center in place. I'm going to make it as probably an 8. But again, that's a personal preference, whatever you want to do it. Okay, we're going to need 2 of those. Highlight, right click, copy, left click on blank page, right click, paste. Now I've got 2 of them. Okay. It is going to be a cross hatch, so click on this, come up here, click at your 90-degree button, makes it 90 degrees, and then you bring them 2 close to each other and highlight them. Once they're highlighted, horizontally and distribute vertically. So there's your hatch marks. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to highlight both of those pieces. You're going to hit merge graphic shapes. And what that done is that made that one cross one piece versus 2 pieces intersecting. Okay. Now you're going to bring that cross up, and then you're going to bring this front circle until they intersect like that. Okay, they're overlaid on top of each other. Okay, now with them overlap on each other like that, highlight them both, hit merge, and subtract. And now what it did, it went from that shape to 4 pieces. These are the pieces that are going to be cut out, and that's what your CD is going to be shining through. Okay, so we'll bring over our other piece there, which is going to be the front. Then we're going to bring this piece and we're going to center it as best we can on this piece here. With them centered like that, we're going to do another merge. Okay, now you're going to highlight both of them. Then you're going to hit merge, subtract. Now it's all become one piece. This is your front piece. These parts here are holes that are going to get cut out. Okay, so now we have our pieces. We got the front, the middle, and the back. Okay, all 3 of them there. Now you're going to put a graphic on this. Go ahead and make a circle, and that circle you're going to size at 44 millimeters. And while you have that done, immediately come over here and hit ignore for processing. If you do that, no matter what you do, this will not print. If ignore for processing is done, it won't do it. What this piece is it shows the middle of a CD that doesn't have any reflective material on it. So whenever you go to make your graphic to stick it on it, and you need to check to make sure that that's not showing, you can bring it over here, stick it on there, and whenever you put your graphic on there, you know whether or not it is going to show. This is just a reference piece set off the side. If you need it, you've got it. Okay, so I'm just going to choose a graphic to use. I can upload one or whatever. I'm just going to pick an image here. Let's do a teddy bear. Okay, here's my teddy bear. My teddy bear is going to have to be either engraved or fill engraved. Because if you cut it out, you're going to mess stuff up. And if you use the image itself, you could actually merge it and that would be there as well. But the problem you run into is behind the teddy bear is not going to be very shiny. It's not going to be very pretty. So the way to combat that is you take your image, you make a circle, you make your circle big enough to put your image on, and once you figure out what that size needs to be, and we know that it's bigger than the bad spot on the CD, we can take our image, take it off the side for a second. Our circle here is where we want it to be, and then we're going to have to go ahead and merge these. Okay, so with them highlighted, you're going to hit merge graphic shapes, and that's what our front piece is going to look like. When we put our graphic on there, we print it, that's what it's going to look like. Okay, just some quick housekeeping. Alright, take your pieces and set them out like this. Every one of these, every line that shows is going to be a cut. So highlight, hit cut, and put in your parameters for whatever material that you're using. And when you put it in for one, it puts it in for all of them when they're all highlighted like that. Once that's done, you pull your graphic up, put it into place, set your parameters for it, and that's good to go. You can also, once you get it on there, highlight, group it. So now you've got front, middle, back. Okay. Now, when you go to cut these, if you've got the room on a sheet, you can cut them all at the same time. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to. So a thing to remember is you can have them all on here. Just highlight it, highlight the ones you don't want, and hit ignore. Now the program passes right over them and won't print them. You can even have this one sitting right here on top of these other two. Since it's not ignored, it will print. See how bright it is compared to the others? The ignore comes in handy a lot of different times. A lot of people don't use it, but so you can cut that one. Then once it's cut, you can hit ignore on it. Go to the next one. Uncheck ignore. Do that one. Click ignore. Go to the next one. Hit ignore. And there you go. You just print them off 1, 2, 3. If you got a big enough piece to do them all at once, knock yourself out. But that's the way to do it. Okay, I've got all my pieces printed. If you get an error when you're trying to print these off, it says nothing on canvas. You've got everything checked as ignore. You'll run into that. I've run into that before. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue it up. I use this Type Bond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue. Got it at Walmart. It is nice because it's a little bit thicker than the regular glue, so it stays where you put it. Don't make quite a mess. So here's all my pieces. I want to get rid of the junk parts. Throw this away. Keep this one piece. And then I'm going to grab a CD. Alright, so we got the middle ring here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some glue and we're just going to go around the outside edge of it. And being how this is thick, it doesn't go all over. And when you stick the two pieces together, they'll stick together. They don't try and slide around on you like the thin stuff does. Alright, so I got a bead of glue around it. I'm going to line it up and put it together with my back piece. And since there's nothing around the edge of this, it can distort. So if you throw the CD in there, at least it'll distort the way you want to. And I've got a bad CD, so if the glue gets on this one, we're okay. Just to get it pressed down into place. Make sure your holes are lined up here at the top. Okay. I'm going to take that CD out. Put a good CD in. Hold on just a second. Okay, then we're going to grab our front. And we're going to take our glue. We're going to run a bead around the outside edge of it. And like I said when I was making the circle on the outside edge of the front, I made it this size. If you want to make it bigger, and you can write, you know, Merry Christmas around the outside edge, or however you want to do it. All these videos are just an example. You can always take them and do what you want with them. Have fun. Okay, so we got glue on the outside here. Take it. We're going to line it up at the top on the outside edge and drop it down. Make sure she's all lined up. What we need to do is we need to lock this down so that it doesn't take off on us. Any glue off the outside edge. Everything's lined up. We got these binder clips. You just start working your way around the edge. And with these kind of pieces, you don't have to have all kinds of torque to hold them down. You just want to keep them from slipping until it dries. So there's that. She's all glued up. We'll let her sit for a little bit. That's another thing about this kind of glue here. This is it dries 2 times faster than normal glue, it says on it, and it dries pretty quick. So we'll let that set for a bit, and we'll come back in a while. Okay, here we are done. There's our finished piece. These were made out of cardboard. Just here's the prototype I did. It's made out of cardboard. This one's made out of cardboard. And here's a good one I made. It's made out of a composite board. But as you see, they kind of look cool. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, like, share, and follow. If you got any questions, let me know. Along with all my other videos, I hope that helps too.